Hello everyone, my name is Bethany and today I'm going to be talking about the gospel of love. In life, you get many different types of love. You get philia love, which is the love you have for your friends. You get storge love, which is the love you have for your family. You get eros love, which is the love you have for your partner or your husband or wife. And then you get the greatest love of all, agape love, which is God's love. And that's what I'm going to be talking about today. In 1 John 4 verse 16 it says, "So we have come to believe the love that God has for us." God is love, and whoever abides in God abides in love, and God abides in him. The word abide in Hebrew means yashab, and the translation of it means to stay, remain, and rest. What I absolutely love about the Bible is the way it complements itself. Because in Matthew 11 verse 28, it states that Jesus said he will give us rest. And it also states that rest comes from God. And if God is love, like it says so, then God is our rest as well. Because whoever abides in God abides in love, and God abides in him. And I just love this whole concept. And I love it because it's not just the concept, it's the truth. And I know this from experience. You will never ever have true rest until you find God and abide in him. So one of the first characteristics of agape love is rest. The second one is sacrifice. And when I speak about sacrifice in this context, I'm speaking about the crucifixion of Christ. Because in Matthew 27 verse 22 it says, "Pilate said to them, 'Then what shall I do with Jesus who is called Christ?' They all said, 'Let him be crucified.'" Now the reason I see this as sacrifice is because the crucifixion of Christ was not a normal one. It was the crucifixion of God, as in the very people that he came to save were literally screaming, "Let him be crucified." But God's love is so intense that it did not stop him, because at any point Jesus could have used his powers to escape, but he did not. He went through with it even though the whole crowd was screaming, "Let him be crucified." And the reason I choose to speak on this is because of religious people who are not in a relationship. It's a religion for them. I have seen so many people not want to come to church because they don't know God's love, and the only reflection they've ever had of it was from someone who claimed to be born again and spirit-filled, but the words these people would speak and their actions would prove otherwise. And that's why I always try my very best to be kind to everyone I meet, because I know that we serve a God of love, and sometimes the only reflection people ever get of Jesus is what comes out of you. So if you're going to go around insulting people, making people offended, then remember this: you are not only representing yourself, you're representing the Lord. And if you truly love God, you want people to see the goodness of God so they can find them. Something my grandfather told me one day was, "Where people plant thorns, you plant flowers." And back then I did not understand as a kid, but I get it now. It means that just because someone acts differently, it doesn't mean you have to lower your standards and act the same as them. I know this is easier said than done, because we are human beings and human beings have emotions. But as human beings, we also have the responsibility to take charge of these emotions, as in we have the responsibility to have self-control. Because in Proverbs 25 verse 28, it says, "A man without self-control is like a city broken into and left without walls." So have self-control, because love is extremely powerful. In fact, sometimes as human beings, we tend to underestimate how powerful love is. It's so powerful that God gave his son on the cross for us. Because in John 3:16 it says, "For God so loved the world that he gave his only son, so that whoever believes in him should not perish but have eternal life." As a matter of fact, it's getting close to Christmas, and whenever I think about Christmas, I think about the reason for the season, which is Jesus. And that we serve a God that loves us so much that he actually had Jesus born on the earth, he had him walk on the earth, and he had him die for us, just for the sake of love. because that's how powerful it is. As in, you are powerful if you have love, so use that power wisely. And the reason I say use that power wisely is because loving people also means being truthful to them and calling them out when necessary, even though they may not like it. Because you care about them and you love them too much to support them on something that is bad for them. An example of this is your parents. Like, when I was younger, I had a friend that was not a good influence on me. As in, she wasn't a bad influence either, but she was not adding anything to my life. She was only gathering the harvest from it. And having just entered teenagehood at that point, I think I was about 13 or so, I was very upset with my mom because I was like, but this is my friend. But now that I'm older, I'm so glad that my mom called me out, because the truth of the matter was, there was no growth with this girl. And when you become like the people you hang around the most. So hang around people who add value to your life and don't want just to gather the harvest out of it. I hope that this video helps you understand how powerful love is and the ministry it holds, and make wise decisions. Goodbye and be blessed.